Therefore, substituting the value of b as minus 4, we'll get 4 plus under root of b square minus 4ac. So b square minus 4ac is equal to b is equal to minus 4 square is equal to 16. Minus 4 into a is equal to 3 and c is equal to minus 2. We'll be getting 40. So under root of 40 we can write is 40 upon 2 into a is 3, and the value of beta is equal to 4 minus root 40 upon 2 into 3. Solving, we can get this as 2 plus root 10 upon 3, and the value of beta is 2 minus root 10 upon 3. Find the condition such that the quadratic equation becomes an identity. Given the quadratic equation, f of x is equal to x square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This is the quadratic equation. We have to find the condition that this equation holds true for every value of x. If we substitute any value of x, we'll get the solution. This is possible only when a is equal to 0. If a is equal to 0, we can substitute any value of x, but this whole term will always be equal to 0. If b is equal to 0, this whole term will always be 0, whatsoever may be the value of x. And if c is equal to 0, this term will also be 0. So we'll get the solution for any value of x. If we substitute any value of x in this equation, but the solution will always exist because the whole expression is equal to 0. The condition such that the quadratic equation becomes an identity is that a should be equal to 0, b should be equal to 0, and c should be equal to 0. So simultaneously a is equal to b is equal to c is equal to 0. This is the sufficient condition for any quadratic equation to become an identity. Discriminant d of a quadratic equation. This is used to define the nature of the roots of the quadratic equation. We term the b square minus 4ac as discriminant. When we calculated the roots, we got the solution as x is equal to minus b plus minus under root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. This quantity b square minus 4ac is termed as the discriminant of the quadratic equation, that is equal to b square minus 4ac. This is used to find the nature of the roots. Given that f of x is equal to x square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, c are the real numbers and a is not equal to 0, we have to find the condition such that the quadratic equation has real and equal roots. The roots of the quadratic equation are given by this expression. If the roots has to be real, then the quantity b square minus 4ac. If roots have to be real, then the quantity d should be greater than equal to 0, because the root quantity should be greater than equal to 0 to have the real solutions. But it says that the roots should be equal. The root has to be equal. If the root has to be equal, then the value of d should be equal to 0. If the roots has to be equal, then the value of d should be 0. We'll get x is equal to minus b plus minus under root d upon 2a. If the value of d is equal to 0, then the solution will be x is equal to minus b upon 2a. We'll have the repeated root and the quadratic equation will become a perfect square. Find the condition such that the quadratic equation has real and distinct roots. We know that the roots of the quadratic expression is x is equal to minus b plus minus under root of d upon 2a. The roots may be alpha or beta. The roots has to be real and distinct. The first condition for the roots to be real has to be that d should be greater than 0. D has to be greater than 0, only then this quantity will be real. The under root quantity has to be positive. So the roots will be real x will be real when d is greater than 0. D should not be equal to 0, because if d is equal to 0, then the roots are equal and we need the distinct roots. So the condition for the roots to be real and distinct is that d should be greater than 0. Find the condition such that the quadratic equation has the complex roots. The roots are x is equal to minus b plus minus under root d upon 2a. It says that we have to find the condition such that the roots of the quadratic expression, the root of the quadratic expression is x. This has to be complex. If the root has to be complex, then the under root quantity has to be negative. It can be complex only when d is less than 0. If d is less than 0, this quantity, the under root quantity, will become negative and we will have the complex solution. The complex roots always occur in conjugate pairs. Conjugate, like if one root is equal to minus b plus outer d upon 2a, this is the first root, then second root will be equal to minus b minus outer d upon 2a. The plus sign will change to minus sign. So these two roots are conjugate to each other. If a and b are integers and x square plus ax plus b is equal to 0 has the discriminant as a perfect square, then we have to prove that its roots are integers. If a and b are integers and the quadratic equation has the discriminant as a perfect square, the discriminant is equal to b square minus 4ac. Here b is equal to minus a square minus 4, a is equal to 1 and c is equal to b. So we get a square minus 4b. The roots of the quadratic expression is minus b plus minus under root d upon 2a. In this case, b is equal to minus a, so will become a plus minus under root of d upon 2a. A is equal to 1. A is equal to 1. So a square minus 4b. This is given as it is a perfect square. Let us assume to be p square. Case 1, if a is odd. If a is odd, the square of odd number, odd square is odd. So the quantity p square is equal to odd minus 4b. 4b is always a even quantity. Odd minus even, that is equal to odd. And the square root of an odd quantity is odd. So the value of p will be odd. The value of p will be odd. So we can write this as a plus minus p upon 2. The p is odd. The value of p will be odd. And odd plus odd. This term is odd and this term is odd. Odd plus odd is even, and even upon 2 is an integer. Even upon 2. X is equal to even upon 2 will always be an integer. Considering the second case, case 2, when a is even. If a is even, the d, that is equal to p square, is equal to b square minus 4ac, that is equal to a square minus 4b. If a is even, the a square will be even. 4b is even. Even minus even is equal to even. So p square is equal to even. The value of p will be equal to even. The square root of the even quantity is an even quantity. So the value of p will be even. The root is x is equal to a plus minus p upon 2. A is even, p is even, will get x is equal to even quantity upon 2, that will always be an integer. What will be the second root if one root of the quadratic equation is complex? Since the complex roots always occurs in conjugate pair, complex roots always occur in conjugate pairs. So if one root alpha is equal to a plus outer b, then the other root beta will be equal to a minus outer b. The second root will be the conjugate of the first root. The relation between the roots and the coefficients of the quartic equation. The roots are alpha and beta, the coefficients are a, b and c. We have to find the relation between alpha, beta and a, b and c. We have the quartic expression f of x is equal to x square plus bx plus c. We can write the roots as x minus alpha and x minus beta, multiplying by the coefficient a. If we solve this equation and compare both the coefficients, we'll be getting as a into x square minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta is equal to x square plus bx plus c. If we compare both the equations, we'll be getting that sum of roots alpha plus beta is equal to minus b by a. Sum of roots is equal to minus b by a, and product of the roots is equal to alpha into beta is equal to c by a. Forming of quartic equation with the given roots. We have to form the quartic equation x square plus bx plus c if the roots are given as alpha and beta. The value of alpha and beta is given, and we have to form the quartic equation. The quartic equation will be a into x minus alpha into x minus beta. To make it more precise, if we solve the equation and we compare both the terms, we will get the sum of roots alpha plus beta is equal to minus b upon a, and product of roots alpha into beta is equal to c by a. Form the equation one of whose roots is 3 plus root 2. Given that alpha is equal to 3 plus root 2, then beta is equal to 3 minus root 2. We have to form the quartic equation whose roots are alpha and beta. So sum of roots alpha plus beta is equal to 3 plus root 2 plus 3 minus root 2, that is equal to 6, and product of roots alpha into beta is equal to 3 plus root 2 into 3 minus root 2, that is equal to 9 minus 2 is equal to 7. The quartic equation will be x square minus x times sum of root, that is 6, plus product of roots, that is 7, is equal to 0. X square minus 6x plus 7 is equal to 0 is the equation whose roots are 3 plus root 2 and 3 minus root 2. The condition for the common roots. Given the two quartic equation 1 q1 as ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Suppose this equation has two roots alpha and beta, and given the another quartic equation a dash x square plus b dash x plus c dash is equal to 0. So one of the roots has to be common in both the equation. Let the common root be alpha. So alpha will also be the root of this equation, and the other root is gamma. Now the alpha satisfies both the equation, the quartic equation 1 and quartic equation 2. So if we substitute the value of alpha in the first equation, that is a alpha square plus b alpha plus c is equal to 0. This is the first condition. The second condition is that alpha satisfies this equation, that is a dash alpha square plus b dash alpha plus c dash is equal to 0. From here we can solve the value of alpha, and we can find that this is the condition. Eliminating alpha, we can write as, if we eliminate the value of alpha, we can write the alpha square upon bc dash minus b dash into c is equal to alpha upon a dash c minus ac dash is equal to 1 upon ab dash minus